Do you find yourself doing this? Or this? Or maybe even this? If so, then this lap guide could be exactly what you're after. This lap guide is for the Dragon Trail Gardens circuit, running in the reverse direction using Gr.3 cars on racing hard tyres, which is the combo for Daily Race B in Gran Turismo 7 this week. I'm using the Porsche 911 RSR because it has decent pace, but it's also fairly easy to handle compared to some of the other cars. For the gameplay, I'm using the DualSense controller, I've got manual gears, and all assists are turned off apart from ABS on default. So without further ado, let's get into the lap. Over the start finish line, and the first thing you want to look out for is this 150 meter board. I just use this as a reminder to prepare to brake, but where you're actually going to brake is this gap in the railings. Once you hit the gap, brake hard and start changing down the gears. Ideally, you want to hit second gear just after you get past the 50 meter board. Once you get down to second gear, leave off the brakes and start to turn in. You want to clip this curb on the inside of the bend. One thing to look out for if you do go over the curbs is this inside lip. It's raised and it will unsettle the car if you hit it. From here, you just want to coast around the bend following these tyre marks on the circuit, ideally to the outside edge. I'm using a little bit of power just to compensate for my shallower angle. Coming out of the corner, you are aiming for this curb. You just want to clip the edge of it, watching out again for the inside edge. You want to start feeding the power on as you come around this bend, so if you do clip the inside edge, hold off on that for just a second until the car's settled, otherwise you will spin out. So as I'm coming around the bend, power's going on, and I'm aiming just to catch the curb on the left hand side, again trying to avoid the inside edge if possible. If you find you're going too wide, you can always lift off or drop a gear to help you turn in better. Carrying on up the straight, powering through the gears, get yourself over to the right hand side and you are looking out for this sign. Once that sign leaves the edge of your screen, you want to drop down to fourth gear, leave off the accelerator and start to turn in. As you're turning in, you're aiming just to clip this curb on the inside. On the straight, you're changing down to third gear to give you the rotation just to clip this curb. Then I'm feathering the brake a little bit as I go round the next corner, because I'm aiming to get close to this white line on the right to give me a good angle to exit the bend and get the power on nice and early without hitting this curb on the outside. From there, our next braking marker is this sign, and you want to hit the brakes when that sign leaves the top of the screen. Sometimes you can use the shadow underneath, but I'd stick to using the sign because occasionally this could be cloudy when you race and the shadow won't be there. As you brake, you're looking for this gap on the left hand side. This is going to be your turn-in point. Turn in just as you pass it and ease off the brakes as you turn to catch this curb on the inside. Your next turning point is the start of the red tarmac on the right hand side. Now you're aiming for the curb on the left. You might need to feather the throttle a bit or drop a gear if you're coming in too quick. Next up is this blue sign on the left, and you want to be turning to the right as you hit the end of the sign. You should be on full throttle at this point, and you can take this corner completely flat out as you clip the curb. Your next braking marker is this 100 meter board. And there you're going to brake hard and turn in by the time you get to this 50 board. Continue braking as you turn in, and you might need to go down to first gear to catch the edge of this curb. I catch a bit too much of it on this lap. You want to be slightly over to the left in order to get the power on nice and early, avoiding hitting too much of this curb on the left. So now you want to be fully on the power, in a straight line, which you'll see you going near this white line on the right. You want to get ready for your next braking marker, which is this 100 meter board, and you want to be braking hard as this leaves the screen. Turn in when you get to the 50, change down to second gear, and you want to clip this curb on the inside. Just as you go past the start of the tarmac on the right hand side, you want to drop down to first gear and turn in. I've turned in a little bit too early here. You want to go over to the left as much as possible to give you a good run for this bend on the right. Clipping the curb again, full on the power, taking care not to ride too much of this curb on the left. You do, however, want to ride this curb on the right. Then follow the tyre marks on the circuit until you get to these orange crates. Lift off at that point, and when you get near the curb, put the power on again. You might need to lift off a little bit so you don't take up too much curb on the left. But there we go, that is a lap of Dragon Trail Gardens in reverse. Hopefully you found that lap guide useful. Don't forget to leave a like if you did, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of these, or if there's anything you'd like me to do different in future lap guides. I'm going to leave you with the full lap at full speed in a variety of views, so you can take a good look at the lap for yourself. I've been Gr.3, thanks for watching, and until next time, I will say bye for now.